it's Shawnee. Welcome back. I am going to do just a full, mostly, face of Danessa Myricks. I have a couple of things from her that I want to use. My brain is all over the place. I am listening to this amazing podcast. It's called Someone Knows Something, and this is their 7th season, and it is so incredibly interesting. Typically, the podcast is about crime and stuff like that, but this one is about like women's health issues, and oh my god, whew, it is powerful just listening to some of these stories. Anyway, I figured I would take a break from that and do a quick video because I recently got some of the Colorfix Nude from Danessa Myricks. Now, I have a bunch of Colorfix shades. Most of them are matte and they're various colors, but I really wanted to try the nude ones because I think I've seen them before, but I think it was Lock Maiden I was watching, and she was using them as like coverage, like foundation, and I was like, OMG. So I also talked with Jan about it, and Jan and I were both like, we're gonna buy it. So let me tell you a little bit about the Colorfix Nudes. Let's see here. Okay, so the way that their website describes the Colorfix Nudes is a supremely versatile hybrid cream color and extreme long-wearing paint that can be safely used on lips, eyes, or face. There are 12 shades in the Colorfix Nudes, and those are based off of the Vision Cream cover, and they are formulated for remarkable longevity and endurance. They're also said to be smudge-proof, waterproof, rapid drying, and sustainable in high temperatures. So basically, you can use them alone, or you can layer them with other things, with Colorfix glaze. You can mix in other complexion products to adjust shades or to create a waterproof finish. And you can use it as a waterproof base for concealers. Basically, it's saying it's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and use those. I bought the shades 9 and 7, so I have these two shades. I figured I could use 7 as more of a highlight shade and 9 hopefully as a complexion shade. I haven't tried them, so I'm not quite sure if they will work for my skin tone or if I'm gonna have to get different shades. But the other things I got, the first one is the Microfiber Velvet Sponge, and I got it in the shade Dark Chocolate. It comes in this little packaging here. So it's just a microfiber sponge, and it has the DM for Danessa Myricks on there. And then on the other side, it's kind of hard to see, but it says yummy. I think it says yummy skin. Yeah. So they have like a caramel color and a dark chocolate color. And I also bought the Velour Puff Duo. It comes in this little bag, and you get a larger one and a smaller one, and I also got them in dark chocolate. So when I read over using these, basically you can use the sponge for any like liquid cream balm product. Now the website does say that if you want more sheer coverage, use the sponge dampened, and if you want more full coverage, you can use it dry. So I'm gonna use it dry. And then gracious. And then the puffs, they encourage using like the pointed side for getting close to like hard to reach areas, and then using the larger side for like the rest of your face. And these are for powder. So I've got those. I've got my Colorfix. I also have the Lightwork Volume 3 palette. I have this here. I've used it quite a few times. I have the Yummy Skin Flushed Blushes. I also have some of her Duet Balms and the Dewy Cheek and Lip palette. What else do I have from Danessa Myricks? I have this beauty oil. It is a nice oil. It's like a dry oil, if that makes sense. So it's supposed to be a hydrating facial oil. I think I might use this instead of my Yummy Skin Universal Balm. This gives a very much like matte finish, and I'm working my way through the Universal. If you've been here a while, you know that I used up shade 9. And I love it. I have a backup. I just haven't opened it yet because I have so many other things that I need to get through. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start with the oil. So I've had this for a while, and sometimes I actually keep it near my bed just for a little bit of hydration at times if I'm just like laying around. And even though I have oily skin, I will still use some like facial oils and stuff. And this one I find does not make my face feel oily. Like it just sort of melts in. And I think it just gives a little bit of life to my face. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Colorfix Nude in 9. If that doesn't work, what will we do? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're going off the cuff, as I usually am. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my palette here. Now, with Danessa Myricks, you tend to only need a little bit, but I've never used Colorfix like all over my face, so I'm curious as to how this will work. I'm going to take my Sonia G Jumbo Base from her Fusion collection, dip into that. I think that's a pretty good color match, at least from what I can see. All right, let's try. Y'all, I went to get a car wash for the first time in like a long time. And I just wanted to let you know. Okay, so I feel like that gives like some light coverage, like it balances everything out a little bit. Let's see how buildable it is. I'm gonna continue with the shade 9. Where did I just put it? Oh, right here. So that was one squeeze. Let's try one more squeeze. I'm kind of liking it so far, though. What do you think? Oh, flip. I forgot to use the daggone sponge. Okay, I'm gonna take, like, the booty of the sponge. Oh, that's definitely gonna be for, like, more targeted application. Okay, nothing, like, super special about this. It's definitely, it's got, like, some density to it. I'm gonna go back with my brush because I enjoyed that a bit more. I feel like the sponge kind of soaked up a bit of the product, which I don't think is actually uncommon. Honey, I like it. I like it. Okay, so let's try number 7. We're gonna use that one as just like to highlight. Now I do know it said like you can use it as a base for concealer, but let's see if I can just use it as concealer. What do you think? You know what? let me blend it in how I normally would with my concealer. That's not half bad, y'all. What do you think? I'm kind of feeling it. Okay, so let's go in. I don't have any powder from Danessa Myricks, but I'm going to take the NARS Soft Matte Powder in the shade Offshore. I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of pan already, and that is concerning. I'm going to take this puff, get some powder on there, and just set that concealer. Oh, I might really like this. I might really like this. Yes. Okay. Should we use Colorfix for the eyes or the palette? Why don't we do both? So let me start with a black base. This is the Colorfix in Midnight, or no, Blackout. What's Midnight is the Sydney Grace black shade. So again, I'm putting a little bit on my palette. Just going to take this brush. Oh, this is an old brush. That's fine. My little melt mirror here. So I think I've said before, like, people randomly start talking to me and I don't know why, and that it just happened earlier today where I went to get my vehicle emissions test or whatever, and basically you go to a place that does it, you like sit in your car in the line for a little bit, and then you pull forward and they do whatever it is that they do, and then you go about your business, right? So that's what I was expecting, but no, because the person who was doing my inspection felt like it was time to chat. Okay, let's see. What shade do I want to use? Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just wearing like a gray t-shirt. I don't want to use this shade. This is like the only shade in here that I don't like, and it's not that I don't like the color, it's that it's a glitter, and I'm not a fan of using glitters. But I also want to maximize the use of this black base. Why is it so hard? I've used all of the shades. Why don't we start with Solar Rain? Let's see how that looks. So I pull up to the person, and I've been waiting like 10, 15 minutes, whatever. I was listening to my podcast. It's all good. And, you know, at some point you have to like get out of your car and like pay and all kinds of stuff. And homegirl just starts talking to me. She was like telling me about the person that had been 2 cars ahead of me that spoke Spanish, and apparently none of the like attendants spoke Spanish, and so she was having a hard time communicating with the driver, and his car didn't pass the inspection, and she was trying to communicate with him to go inside the building and I guess talk to someone, but it seemed like the driver didn't quite understand. And the attendant gets a little upset because her like supervisor was being kind of mean as she was trying to like deal with this person who was having a difficult time understanding. And so she just randomly starts telling me all of this, and then goes on about like, you know, that like it's not fair that that person has to keep coming back and failing and paying every time, and that they need to find a way to communicate with them, which I completely agree. It doesn't make any sense to me that there's no sort of bilingual attendant or someone who just is able to communicate clearly with the person. It feels like that seems like a disservice, right? Well, in my opinion. But I hadn't said boo to this woman. So I was like, why is she telling me all this? And it just, I'm telling you, this happens to me all the time. People just come up to me and start talking. Like, I'm not kidding, okay? They just come up to me and they start talking, even if I don't want them to. I'm gonna go into this shade here, and that is called Black Hole. So I was like trying to like comfort her, I guess. And I was like, yeah, that's like really unfair. That's really hard. You know, and then I was like, I hope that the rest of your day goes a little bit better. Like, so I'm just trying to comfort her. But I'm like, why is this happening? Like, I really just want to get my inspection done and go about my business. I don't see people using this palette as much anymore. Now, I will say that I hardly ever use the middle shades, the like, I think they're like the face shades, like highlighters and such. I rarely, if ever, use those. I think I've used them like once, but maybe I'll try them today. Okay. I feel like that was simple. So let's give one of these a try. Why don't we go with this first one here? That is Golden Eclipse. Hold on. Just gonna wipe that on a towel. Okay. Do you want to hear something funny? So when I call my family, I oftentimes will put them on speakerphone. And I swear to you, every time I call one sister in particular and I have her on speaker, guess who comes running? Miss Rose. I have a little bit of fallout, and I got a little bit of the black like kind of on that inner corner. So I'm going to try to remedy that with the number 7 nude, the one that I used for concealer. I need like a small brush. Let's try this BK Beauty 205. It has like this bit of a slant to it that I think will serve me well. And I'll just do it on both sides. Yeah, but actually she comes running when she hears my sisters or my mom. And they're always like, "Hey, Rose." Oh my god. I was asking one of my sisters, like, if she remembered why I named her Rose, and we cannot remember. We just remember that I was adamant that her name was going to be Rose. Oh, speaking of sisters. Hello.
Hey.
What? Okay, we had some business to take care of. So what are we doing now? Let's use something on the cheeks. I think since this is like super colorful. Ooh, you know what? Why don't we use this Colorfix? This is Golden Hour. I haven't used this one yet. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? What you doing? What you doing? I'm asking. Oh. No, you still have 20 minutes. I thought it was time for her to eat. So 20 minutes, girlfriend. So I think my favorite way of putting on the Colorfix Flushed blushes or whatever is with a dense brush. I've really been enjoying putting it on with this Anissa Beauty buffing bronzer brush. It's just like perfect. And then I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks contour balm. So this is shade Deep 2. I have shades Deep 2 and Deep 1. And I just kind of switch between the two. And I have Hip Pan on both. So another way to use these sponges is when you want to do like your liner on your waterline, is use the sponge and you can press it against your face without worrying that you're going to get foundation or whatever on your fingers or nails or anything. So that's my tip from me to you. Okay, so for some color on the lips, I think I will use this Colorfix in Carrot Top. Let's take a little bit of that on my finger. And the only type of other Colorfix that I like is the glaze. So I'm going to take this one in Macaron and put it on top. Let me powder everything and I'll be right back. So here is the finished look. There's a lot happening on my face, so let's go ahead and review everything. Starting with the Colorfix Nudes. I used the shade 9 all over my face, and then I used the shade 7 as a highlighter, just like under my eyes, and as a concealer, I'm sorry, under my eyes, forehead, down like the bridge of my nose. I like these. I already like the Colorfix Matte, like the colors, and using those for lipstick, cheek products, eyeshadow, whatever. I already enjoy those, and now I'm really glad that I got these Colorfix Nudes. I will probably get like a deeper shade in this as well, maybe a couple deeper shades, just as the weather will start to warm up soon and I'll get some sun, but also maybe I can use one as like a contour or something. I'm about to just have a good old time. So I really like these. So if you like the Colorfix Matte, then I think you will like these. Especially if you want something that's not going to move, like it's on there, it's not going anywhere. I also think it gives like light coverage. Typically I like a full coverage kind of thing, but I think these are going to be so easy to use for days where I just want to get a little bit of coverage on my face. So we used that. We used the velour puffs. I already have quite a few of these from different brands and I like them. Most of the ones I have are the size of the small one here, so I'm excited to use the bigger one. That's just going to cover more surface area, but I knew I would like these fine. Now this microfiber sponge, it's okay. I have another microfiber sponge and I only have one. I tend to use the like sponges that are like this. So this isn't my favorite, but that is typical of me because I'm just not a huge fan of microfiber sponges for some reason. But if you like them and you want one that has like Danessa Myricks initials on it, go for it. What else did we use? I already know that I like the Flushed Blurring Balm blushes or whatever. Today is the first time that I used Golden Hour and I do like it. It's a really pretty color. And like I said before, I'm appreciating using these with a brush, and this dense brush, the buffing bronzer brush from Anissa Beauty. This is what I've been primarily using to put these blushes on. Really like them. What else did we use? Oh, the beauty oil. I like this as well. Like, I think that it just really like melts in. I don't think I look oily or anything. So it is very much like a dry oil. If you've ever tried something like that, you know what I mean. It's not like putting Vaseline or like baby oil on your face where you just gonna be shiny. It's not like that at all. So if you want a little bit of hydration on your skin, consider getting this little beauty oil. Oh, and I've used this before, the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 3, and I like it. I mean, I do like the shades, the eyeshadow shades, a bit more than the face powders or whatever, and I don't like this shade here, Orion, just because it's a glitter. Other than that, I'm always like impressed with just the shiftiness of the shades, and like this is super intergalactic, right? And then using the Colorfix on my lips, something that I have done many times before. I really do like using the matte ones as a lip product, and then sometimes I'll go ahead and put a glaze over just to give it a bit of shine if I don't want just a full-blown matte look. So yeah, loving these products from Danessa. Oh, the last thing I forgot to mention is the contour, which I've hit pan on it, so you can see that I do like it. I also had her bronzer for a while, but I completely panned that. So I pretty much like most of the Danessa Myricks products that I use. There are a couple of ones that I haven't liked. I didn't really like the Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. I didn't like the way that felt on my skin. It didn't feel like it dried down. Also, the Vision Cream felt really heavy on my skin. I prefer these blurring blush, balm, flushed, whatever things more than I do the dewy cheek. But I think if you want a dewy look, you'll get it with this for sure. And I do still occasionally use these dew wets. Again, that's if you want like that dewy wet look, and that's not always something I go for. I feel like Danessa definitely loves that, but I'm loving her newer like matte kind of products. So let me know if you've used any of these. Let me know what you think about the Colorfix Nudes. Is that something that you would consider picking up for yourself? I think that is about it. I have got to go feed Miss Rose. It's 2 minutes to her mealtime, and if I don't get downstairs, she's gonna come up here and yell at me. So I gotta go do that. Hopefully some of this was helpful. I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I need to schedule a massage. Post haste. Let me know how you are taking care of yourself. Please be sure to like the video. Also, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.